our ideas, we have evaluated them, we have developed them into a strategy, so we are implementing it, and here is a quote by boxer Mike Tyson: "Everybody has a plan until they get hit in the face." And that's how it is in business too, especially when it comes to big thinking. There will be somebody who says, in the company, this will never work. Don't even try. Or you're taking the product to the market, it's not an immediate success. There are lots of hurdles to overcome, because you need to keep on thinking big. Here is an example from a very, very different kind of brand. A country brand. Not a country, a place. Dubai. I think they're doing a fabulous, fabulous job with their brand. There may be issues about the other things, like, to a certain degree, the real estate, maybe a bubble and everything. But what we can learn from this brand here is how you can think big about a place. As you know, they are challenging 101, Taipei 101, by building an even bigger building. It's called the Burj Dubai. It's on the left-hand side. They have done the Palm Island, which is a structure that you can see from out of space. If you shoot up in space, you can see it. They have a 7-star hotel called the Burj Al Arab. They have a new hotel called Atlantis. They have lots and lots of interesting projects. Some are done by the government, some are, with private companies, to really position and think big about Dubai. So in the execution too, it's not just about having the plan. In their case, the brand of Dubai is supposed to be this new hub, in the broader Middle East area that brings together different nations. That's the idea, that's the brand. But how you implement this, how you create the image that you're cutting edge in this area, depends a lot on the projects that you're doing. So once you have the idea for the brand and the big thinking for the brand, also think about implementation projects in terms of new products that you take into the market, maybe line extensions, maybe brand extensions, that would further reinforce the core concept of the brand. This is Albert Einstein, right? The most famous physicist in the 20th century. He was a very strange guy. Very strange guy. He never fit into schools. He got a really bad grade in mathematics in high school. Okay? Later on in the universities, he was having this weird hairstyle. He was, showing his tongue to the reporters. A strange man. I think we need some of these people. The biggest challenge for out-of-the-box thinking is the wisdom of the senior leader, who sees the value of that kind of thinking and protects it in the people who do it. Robert Gates. You know who Robert Gates is? He's the defense minister in the United States. He's the only one that Obama took on from the Bush administration. So this is the military guy. Now you know how the military works normally. The military is like following orders, right? Not changing things. Military is not associated with innovation. And here is his quote. He gave an entire speech around the importance of thinking big. Right? Warfare in the 21st century is entirely different. It's not like the Soviet Union threatening the United States. Right? It is more about smaller units threatening certain countries and so on. So we need new thinking. And we need people that think in a crazy way. People like Einstein. Right? That don't fit perfectly in. And we need to use them as part of our organization in the right way. That's what he's saying here. That is the challenge as a leader. To recognize that some people in the organization may want to do it differently, and to listen to them. And to see whether there's some value to what they're doing. Well, here is that kind of thinking for Google in terms of the office environment, right? It's not just the people, it's also, how you work, whether you have fun at work, what your office looks like. And it is ultimately, I think, about education. And this is my last slide. I think big thinking is about the people, about the environments, about a project framework like the one that I presented to you, challenging assumptions, killing sacred cows. And I think we need to teach this kind of thinking already to young children. Or maybe we don't have to teach it to them because they know it and we just lose it. I gave a talk on Big Think Strategy, my book, to these 7-year-olds. Now that was a challenge, let me tell you. But they liked it, the story of the Trojan horse and all of that. It was very exciting for them. And then we did a creativity exercise. I said, you all in this class had written a poem recently. One of the class assignments had been they had to write a poem. So now tell me how you would present that poem, at a school meeting in an original, innovative way. So one of the boys here says, I wrote a poem about a cricket. You know a cricket? A cricket that burps. Burp. A cricket that burps. Strange poem, right? So I said, what would you do? He said, well, I would read my poem and I would have, maybe a paper, and on that paper I would write burp, 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 burp. Then the next boy said, why don't you bring a cricket and have the cricket make these sounds, hold up your burp, 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 burp thing, right? And read your poem. Then another girl said, well, why don't we stand there and we make the burping sound and the cricket makes the sound while you are holding up this poster with burp, 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 burp on it and you're reading the poem. They came up with these ideas in 30 seconds. And they're not bad. Children are very creative. In fact, sometimes when I do creativity workshops with managers, in 4 hours, I don't get ideas that are as good. So my point is, thinking big, thinking creative, believing everything is possible. That's how children are. They constantly ask questions. Why is this not like this? Why is it not like that? But what do we do then? In the beginning, we answer it. And then after a while, we say, oh, be quiet. In the classroom, the teacher will say, this has nothing to do with what we are talking about now. Right? And then later on, we end up in a company. And there we are trying to do something original. But the boss says well, I'm not sure this was such a good idea. And after a while, we just stop. We just stop. So I think it is ultimately also an educational issue in terms of how you organize schools, how things get organized. And I hope I contributed some ideas on how you can think big in general and how you can create really big, successful brands. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Schmitt. 下一场活动呢是高峰论坛。如果各位有提问想要提问的话，请各位填写在资料袋内的提问单上，那转交给那个在报道处的工作人员就可以了。接下来是休息时间，请各位在3点50分前回座，谢谢。